feel like everyone and their mom right now is so excited for cozy fall, which is fall in general. Some are even going as far as saying Christmas. I'm still at fall. We'll check Christmas later. So I'm trying to do a little cozy fall inspired reading vlog, and I'm trying to get through 3 books. I'll mix it up a little bit. So we have Encyclopedia of Faeries, so we have a little bit of a cozy fantasy. I feel like fall in general just has fantasy vibes. Another one that we have is Out on a Limb. I have it on my Kindle. And it's based, like it starts out at fall. It's mostly a romance, but the vibe is there. And then we have Better Hate Than Never, also on my Kindle. I'm trying to get through my like September and October TBR as well that I have with a few friends. Mine looks like this. So I'm trying to pick out a few of those and read them. I'm gonna start out with Out on a Limb. I have actually already read this before and I fully enjoyed it, of what I remember. I think it was last year or something like that. But it's the book club pick for a book club I'm in. So I wanted to reread it just to make sure I remember everything, because there's nothing worse than sitting in the discussion and someone's saying something, I'm like, did this happen? So, little reread in the beginning, and then I'm excited to get into some of the other ones. I started Out on a Limb, and I'm not that far into it yet, but the meet cute in it is so cute. It's so cute. Like, I both want to tell you and I don't want to tell you, because it makes me giddy, and I need you to experience that for yourself. But just know going into this that you're gonna be really giddy when you start it, because it's just like no other meet cute, and it just shows them as characters perfectly, and you immediately feel the banter and how these people are gonna come together in such a great way that you know you're gonna enjoy for the entire book. It's really cute. I'm enjoying it. It's gonna be good. But I knew I would enjoy it. It's always interesting to read something you read before, like a while after, to see if you still have the same opinions. So I'm excited to see how it goes. I really love this book, right? And you can visibly see that on me. Although there's this one bit I just don't like. So, one of the main characters, husband, likes geeky stuff. And his wife is kind of rude about it. Like, he brings home this like Death Star Lego set, right? And the wife calls him Darth Loser for a month. Rude. You're just bullying this poor dude for being like nerdy. Oh, it's kind of funny though. There's something about a Scottish man complimenting you, and like the slang, that kind of gets me. I don't know why. I'm sorry for this book. Oh. I would honestly highlight this entire chapter, but I fear that defeats the purpose of highlighting. Okay. Context. She's meeting his friends, and they're playing Dungeons and Dragons, and they're like being mean to Bo, but like in the way that friends are. Like I have to tell you this. It's not a spoiler, I promise. Let me ask you, we have a bet going. When you met Bo, were you in a particularly dark room, or you're just a very kind, charitable soul? And it's just such like friendly BS, and it's making me so happy. I get emotional easy, and it's really not sad or anything like that. It's just like boys are boys, like boys will be boys, right? And I don't mean like pulling your hair or pushing you or being mean. I mean like this group of adults sitting and playing D&D and being friends and having fun with each other, right? And it makes me so happy. And now they're including these two girls, and found family. To be loved is to be seen, okay? I love this book right now. It is, you can physically see it's making me so happy. But right now we're getting to the point of enforced proximity. Starting to have this like tension between them. And then one of them says something, and I'm like, no, why would you say that? Why would you, do you not want me to be happy? Just, I mean, I want the tension, but I don't want the tension, you know? So, I'm loving it, but, no. No, that's hilarious. A thing that I forgot though, since reading it last, like a year ago, is the main plot is miscommunication trope. I forgot that. I really did. So now that it's like showing up again, that's gonna be the main thing, and the thing keeping them apart though, it's really good. But the miscommunication trope is not it, and it's like quite like obvious. It's still an amazing book, don't get me wrong, but whenever that pops up, it's like, oh, I can't because blank. But you know, not me truly just highlighting this entire book. I'm happy I'm not reading physically because my hand would be hurting. This man is born to be a dad. The amount of dad jokes he has is horrible. Sorry about the tears. This book is really just about accepting yourself and loving and finding family despite the situation you're in. And no matter how old you are, and never giving up on the dreams, the things you want, even if it feels like the hand you're dealt isn't one you can win with. I'm 64% in, and something I love about this is that here in the top, it says like, baby is now the size of blank, right? But the last chapter, like the last time they did that, it said baby's the size of an avocado. And now it says baby's the size of a pear. Is that just my mental math, or are they not the same size? doing adult stuff for a little bit. I had to go to the mechanic, which is the reason I'm wearing jeans. I'm quickly regretting that now that I'm home again. So let's change into some pajamas. Okay, so I am honestly not that far from being done with Out on a Limb. I'm 78% in, and my Kindle says I have an hour and 5 minutes to go. So I'm thinking, let's finish that now. Then we can have a little discussion about it. So let's see if we can get this done. And then I can drink the rest of my little homemade pumpkin spice latte. Sorry, but Bo in this literally has my heart. Why is he the sweetest, like, most damaged person in the entire world? And I just want to cuddle him up. You remember how I was said that Bo was tortured? And then I wanted to hug him and keep him close. And then like 5% later, they give me like even more torture. I want to hug them. That's it. It was so good. A 5-star, and I agree fully with what I thought last time I read it. It's just such a good, wholesome experience. Earlier, I talked about this miscommunication trope and how it's annoying, and it passes very quickly. The book isn't very plot driven. Like, of course she's pregnant, but it's not very plot driven, it's character driven. And you really see them growing as people, both together and separately. And it's such a wholesome experience, and it was so good. It was so good. It's definitely getting 5 stars. I want to start out the next clip just so I know I've introduced it. The next book I want to read is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Faeries. And I've honestly heard so much about it, but I've heard it can be kind of hard to get into. And in the beginning, the main character can be a little unlikable. It's about a woman trying to make an encyclopedia of fairies, and she goes to this place where she thinks fairies are. And because she's slightly unlikable, no one in the city that she goes to, like the little village, wants to talk to her. But a co-worker of hers goes with, and she might believe that he's a fairy, so she kind of she doesn't like him. But she lets him be there because she thinks that she could be like onto something with him and write about him. And then I think it's like their little love story and her like growing as a person, I think. But honestly, who knows? Who knows? So I'm sad. But I'm gonna give you guys an update when I know more, I guess. I'm a little excited about this one. I have started a little bit on the book. I'm 18 pages in, so barely started. So far it's kind of cute. It does have that like the vibe of reading like a scientific article. You definitely get in this because I think it's cute. Do I continue to think it's cute? I hope so. Let me just say, it feels brave that I went to London. I've done a lot today, I feel like. Maybe not, but I'm tired. So it felt brave. I don't know, maybe I was silly. Maybe I was naive. I read like 12 pages. And then, you know, I got a little comfy under the blankets. So I got it on my phone, like on my Kindle, right? And I'm reading there. So I got a bit further. I'm at 21%, it says, at page 64. And it is cute. And like you just see this woman who is, let's say, socially inept, trying to bond with the locals and not doing a very good job. And you just see them getting more and more hostile towards her. And then the guy shows up, like the colleague, and they just immediately fall for his charms. And it's honestly a good time. And they're both really bad at keeping themselves alive in situations like making food or turning on a fire. or anything like that relies on others to do it for them. So they're basically just like same person, but one has charisma and one doesn't. That's it. Sorry for my scraggled appearance. I don't even know if it's that bad. I just woke up from a nap and it's like 18. So I thought I'd update you because I honestly haven't filled anything. I am at 65% and it says I have a little around an hour and a half left. I went to read it on my Kindle, I'm sorry guys. It was just easier to do while I was laying in bed. And today and yesterday has been a bad day, I'm telling you. Oh, shit. How far I am in the physical book. I mean, I read this bit, which is honestly a lot less than I thought. But I do guess I have a good bit left of this one. So we'll see. I did my Kindle for like a really cute cozy fall vibe with a little bit of Halloween thrown in there. And I honestly think it turned out so cute. I did it with a friend. About the book. What am I even saying about this book? What do I even think about this book? I think I'm kind of torn on it because the way I'm seeing it right now is that I am, what did we agree on? 65% into it, and there has been no romance at all. In the meantime, he's also hooking up with other people, and a lot of them. That's not cute. I'm sorry, but that's one of the things that I can't really do. Like, I feel like as soon as both characters get introduced, they have to stop sleeping about and they have to stop flirting about. You can't tell me I'm supposed to ship someone, like two someones, I guess, when one of them is out hooking up with the third person, or fifth and sixth and seventh. It's gonna be more about having read it and moved it from my physical TBR than about what is in it. Because I don't think, I was about to say I don't think I'll ever think of this book again, but I don't think that's true. Just because it has such a different concept than a lot of other books have. How do I even explain it? The characters are really different. Usually you get these very socially strong people, very charismatic, cares a lot about other people. So and these people don't. They really don't. But I just feel like I was kind of promised a romance. And honey, sorry, but if I have no romance yet, and this is all that's left, you're probably not gonna get a good romance from my point of view at least. But let's get a little more reading in. See if I change my mind. I honestly don't see how I'll change my mind. Like, if you haven't given me anything worthwhile so far, because I think they're great friends. I really think they're great friends. Even siblings. Sorry, but that's not the feeling I want to have to someone I'm supposed to be shipping. But none of my business, I guess, right? How did this turn into a murder mystery? Well, not a murder mystery, but like, it has murder mystery vibes. I'm so confused. I'm so confused about what this book is trying to be. I just feel like this entire book is about her studying and like writing this book. And he just seems kind of disrespectful of that and non-supportive and even tries to like discourage her from doing it. So I don't know. I finished Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Faeries, and I'm honestly unsure of what I think about it. There was some parts of it that I thought were really cute, but I feel like around the halfway mark, it really lost me. And the last half, I was kind of confused. And I feel like we got a complete book out of it that I didn't feel like was what I was told I would get. I had hoped this to be a romance book. And I feel like, as I said before, it felt like they were friends, maybe even siblings. and suddenly like romance happens, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what? You usually say the last half of the book is the best. The first half of the book was the best. I feel like it couldn't decide what it wanted to be, so it tried to be everything and lost me. I am probably giving it, I'm between 2.5 and 2.75. But this was honestly a disappointment because I've heard a lot of people really enjoy it and like rate it quite highly, and for me it flopped. But it's still the part where he's supposed to be into her, but been having sex with like 2 people in the book. It feels really misplaced, although I did like both characters individually. I didn't like what they were trying to be together. But now the most exciting part is here. I get to start the 3rd book, which is Better Hate Than Never. I'm kind of excited. Okay, I read a little bit today. I haven't read a lot, I'll read more later. I was at an event today, like it's a 2 festival that I went to with my boyfriend. It was really fun. But I am at 22%. And I am not quite sure what to think of this book. My opinion so far is that it's supposed to be like enemies to lovers type situation. But they haven't told me why they're enemies. So right now it just feels like they're really, really childish. Like they're just arguing and being mean to each other. Like I know it's supposed to be banter, but it just feels like they're being mean. And it's supposed to be these like 30 and 35-year-old people or something with their lives together, right? And apparently she has $8 in her bank account and is going in debt to buy a cake for herself. I don't know. I can neither relate to any of these people, and I'm like, of course there are funny moments, but it's not really hitting, which is really sucks because this is book 2 in the series, and book 1 was called Two Wrongs Made Right. It's this one, and I honestly think I gave that like 5 stars. So I don't know what kind of crap the author put in the first one, but I don't think she put it in the second one, which really sucks because I was really intrigued to see what the second one was about. But I also remember the reason I didn't read it right after the first one was because I looked at the blurb on the back and was like, this doesn't sound that good. And it's like honestly been a year ago since I read that one. So now I'm reading it. I'm missing the crack. It just feels really childish, and that makes me so sad because they're just arguing, bantering, for the sake of them having enemies to lovers, but I'm not seeing the enemies. I can see the lovers, but I just wish they put it up differently instead of like this. But I'll see. Maybe I get 10% more in and it hits. But I don't think I'll forget the fact that they seem like children when they're supposed to be like adults. It's a little shitty and handheld. For that I am sorry. But this was actually so silly that I feel like I had to tell you guys. Because I know if I pushed it off till tomorrow, I would forget. We're in his point of view. It's a quote. And he's talking to his friend. And the friend is like, damn, it's so cold. How are you not freezing your nuts off? And apparently Christopher, our main man here, is saying, have you ever seen someone like me complaining of being cold? Christopher, what's that supposed to mean? He's not fat. You are literally more inclined to be cold the less fat you have on your body. What does this mean? How can you... Is it like his toxic masculinity that he can't be cold? What does this mean, Christopher? Okay, I am honestly quite a good bit into it. I am 56% in. I am starting to get to the romance part. You know, the part where the chemistry and tension is starting to happen. And I was right. I can definitely see how the romance is supposed to romance. And I'm definitely seeing the chemistry between them. But the problem that I'm experiencing is that I still think he and she are children. Like the way they're acting is just not a way I can relate to at all. And of course it's getting better as they grow as people as they're supposed to. But he is actually what freaks me out the most in this. And it's because he's written like a Chad, you know, this meme. And the reason I say that is because like, no matter if it's related to what they're talking about or not, they always have to sneak in how much sex he's having and how cool and how good and handsome and big and all these things he is. And it's like, okay, but why did you feel the need to tell me how much sex you're having when it's not about you? Like there was a point where something along the lines of a man who gets all his wishes fulfilled at home
And it was like, I knew that look well. I knew that look very well, but I hadn't seen it in the mirror lately. And so all this like, oh, look how good he is for not sleeping around while they're kind of having a thing going on. And it just keeps going like that, where it's even been in her chapters, where it's been like, oh, but I knew he always used to have so much sex or something like that. And it's honestly a bit jarring how much they really want me to know that he's a sexual beast. So that's a thing that I'm not vibing with. But then it just seems like he has these red flags in general, where he's not respecting like a no or boundaries from her side. And he's kind of rude to his friends or like co-workers. Like he straight up said to one of them, who gave you permission to talk to me? That's crazy. That's crazy. So we'll see. But right now, I am jarred and intrigued at the same time.
It is time for the last clip. I finished it yesterday night, this morning, 4 a.m. You would immediately hear that and think, oh, it was really good. She enjoyed it. She couldn't put it down. No, that wasn't it. The reason that I stayed up another hour, I was up late yesterday, but the reason I stayed up another hour was because I did not want to be reading this today. I ended up wanting to give this like a 1 star. Just because of how much I did not enjoy it, especially the last half. Like the first half was more enjoyable than the last half, and I didn't enjoy the first half. I think I'll be a little bit more fair on it and say 1 star might be a little rough and give it like a 1.5, 1.75. Felt like the guy became more and more likable, and he actually made me a bit uncomfortable to the point where like I skimmed all the sex scenes. And there was this micro trope, or whatever you want to call it. It's the whole, she's a virgin, he's so experienced and has had sex with everyone. And this book had that, like trope, niche, whatever you want to call it. And I hate that. My cry counter was still like 2 though. So, that, I don't know, that just really shows that I cry at everything. It didn't sit right with me. I didn't like this at all. And that really sucks because I spent time on reading it, right? But now it's out of my mind, out of my TBR. So let's do a little summary of what we did, I guess. We read Out on a Limb. Out on a Limb was an amazing experience, and I gave it 5 stars. And it has way too many cry counters. We then read Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia, Faeries. This one, I wish I could have loved, because the premise was really there. But I just did not see the chemistry between the 2 characters at all. So this one gets 2.75, feels fitting, because it had a great idea. And it was original in a way that not a lot of books are. So I really enjoyed that. But it got a little confusing and off track, in my opinion. But the cry count on this one was like 1.5. If you did actually watch the entire video, I really appreciate you. I don't know if anyone's gonna find it fun, but I think I will. So I'm gonna put a few bloopers like after this clip. Just because it's the first time I filmed a video that's actually longer than like 2 minutes. Let's just say there's been some signs of that. So enjoy that, and I hopefully will see you in the next one. Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia.